So this idea came to my mind a few days ago, and I haven't been active, I haven't recorded in a while, but I thought I would share this idea. We stress a lot about the fact that we don't have time, or we tell ourselves that we have to quote unquote make it by a certain age or achieve something by some deadline. I have to be a millionaire before 25. I have to retire my parents before the age of 27. I have to get married in the next few years. I really have to get that body before summer and things like that. I caught myself in this loop multiple times. I remember a funny story actually. When I was a kid, not really a kid, I was a teenager playing basketball. I'm like, you know what? I'm 15 now. If I just grind for a few years, I can make it to the NBA by whatever year. I would focus so much on this notion of time. And it's almost absurd and funny, right? I can't blame anyone for this because a lot of it comes from consuming on social media. And we just see people that are our age, maybe younger or slightly older, and we feel like we are of less value than them because they have produced more stuff, more objective income. Maybe they have made more income, or they have made their parents proud, or whatever it is. And so we just think about this element of time instead of actually putting our efforts and our time into things that will make us move forward. We think a lot about how long it will take to reach a certain goal versus what we actually have to do to reach that goal. Or maybe we know both, but we just stress so much about the notion of time. We stress so much about the fact that I have to hit this in 6 months or in like 3, 4 months. I have to change my life. I have to be a completely new person. And to that, I ask you, what would happen if it took a bit longer? What would happen if you achieved your goals a year from now versus 6 months from now? How much of a drastic change would a few more months be? Maybe a few more years, you know? The thing is, we try to control everything. We try to write our own timeline, but that's not the truth. The truth is, everything happens on God's timeline. That's not an excuse to sit still at home and to just not do anything about your goals. But the idea of you having so much pressure and stressing so much about achieving something by a certain deadline, this can overtake the actual effort you put in when it comes to achieving your goals. I'm not saying don't set deadlines because certain deadlines do help you achieve your goals by having this element of pressure, right? When we are faced with time constraint, maybe you're faced with like you have an exam in a few days or in a few weeks. You're just like, wait a minute, I have to grind. So you just go for it. This kind of deadline can help. But the kind of deadline I'm talking is, for example, I have to get a six pack by summer. And you don't really focus on what you have to do. You're kind of just stressing about the time and stressing and stressing. That summer is getting closer and closer and closer, but you haven't gotten closer to your goal. It's better to have lost X amount of kilograms or pounds by summer and not have a six pack than just look the same you are now. You know what I mean? So the idea is that don't let the idea of time just consume your brain. Take it easy on yourself while pushing yourself. Don't stress so much about how long it's going to take to get there. Rather, just focus on doing the right things. Anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, I'm going to ask you to subscribe because it helps me, and I'll ask you to share your thoughts in the comments, maybe any video you want me to talk about, or what you thought of this video. Anyways, it's been me. Take care. Peace.